Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ambharat Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Applied Science, Krishna Engineering College, Mohanagar, Ghaziabad. Today I am going to start my lecture 5th on Unit 2nd. In this lecture, we will learn about the one-dimensional heat equation and their initial boundary conditions, and at last we find the solution with the help of the method of separation of variables. Clear? Temperature in a rod or bar or one dimensional heat equation and their initial boundary conditions. First question arises here that what do you mean by one dimensional heat equation? So let us consider the flow of heat by conducting in uniform rod, the uniform rod OA of length L, that is at end O x is equal to 0 and at end A x is equal to L. Clear? It is assumed that the sides of the rod are insulated and loss of heat from the sides by conduction or radiation is negligible. Clear? Take one end of rod as origin and direction of flow of heat be as positive x axis, then temperature U at distance x from O that means distance x from O and time is t, then the distance x from point O at time t is given by del U over del t is equal to c square del square U over del x square, where c square is equal to k upon s rho is known as diffusibility of material. Clear? This equation is known as one dimensional heat equation. Clear? Now we learn about the solution of heat equation with the help of method of separation of variables. Clear? We know that one dimensional heat equation is del u over del t is equal to c square del square u over del x square. Clear? This is the one dimensional heat equation. Now for the better use of the space, we divide this page into two parts. Clear? Now we find the solution with the help of the method of separation variables. So let us take u is the product of two functions, capital X into capital T, be the solution of equation first, where capital X is the function of small x only and capital T be the function of small t only. Now equation second the solution of first, so equation second satisfy the equation first. Now find del u over del t, that means differentiate partially with respect to t. The value of u is xt. Here we find the partial derivative with respect to t only, so x is constant for this, so take capital X outside this, so we get del capital T over del t. Again, since capital T is the function of small t only, so therefore its partial derivative is equal to its total derivative. So in this case del u over del t becomes dt over dt, so we write as dt over dt. Clear? Also find del square u over del x square. Clear? Del square over del x square, the value of u is capital X into capital T. Now find the partial derivative with respect to x only, so t is constant for this, so take the capital T outside from this, so we get del square over del x into capital X. Again we use the same argument, since capital X is the function of small x only, so therefore del capital X over del small x becomes d capital X over dx, or differentiate again, so we get del square capital X over del x square becomes d square capital X over dx square, right? Put this value in this, we get this becomes d square capital X over d small x square. Now put these values in equation first, we get del u over del t is equal to capital X dt over dt small t, clear, is equal to c square capital T d square capital X over dx square. Now the equation can be rewrite as c square into t d square capital X over d small x square is equal to capital X d capital T over dt. Clear? Now separate the variables. So take capital X on LHS, this becomes d square capital X over dx square is equal to, and transfer the term c square t on RHS, so this becomes d capital T over dt. Clear? Now we move on the second page. Clear? The last equation is 1 upon capital X d square capital X over dx square is equal to 1 upon c square capital T d capital T over dt. Clear? This is the last equation. Now the value of two term is equal, so let us take it to be a common value k. Say there are three cases arise here when k is positive, k is 0 and k is negative. Now we take the first case first, when k is positive, that is k is equal to p square. Clear? K is positive, that is k is equal to p square. So the equation, this is the equation third. The equation third becomes 1 upon capital X d square capital X over d small x square 1 upon c square capital T d capital T over d small t is equal to p square. Clear? For better use for this, we divide the p into two parts. Clear? Now take first and third term. We get 1 upon capital X d square capital X over d small x square is equal to p square. Applying the cross multiplication, then we get d square capital X over d small x square is equal to p square into capital X. Take all the term on LHS, this becomes d square over dx square minus p square, right, into capital X is equal to 0. Let us take d over dx is equal to capital D. So this becomes d square minus p square into capital X is equal to 0, right. This is the ordinary differential equation with constant coefficient. So auxiliary equation is m square minus p is equal to 0. Factorize this, m minus p into m plus p. Clear? So we get the two value of m plus minus p. Both value of m are real and distinct. So in this case CF is C1 e to the power px plus C2 e to the power minus px, and RHS of this equation is equal to 0. So Pi in this case is equal to 0. So solution is capital X is equal to CF plus Pi. So capital X is equal to C1 e to the power small px plus C2 e to the power minus px. Now taking second and third term, so we get 1 upon c square capital T d capital T over dt is equal to p square. Clear? Separate the variables d capital T upon t, and this becomes c square p square into small dt, integrating both side. Now integrate this, so we get log t is equal to c square p square into t plus take the constants. Suppose it to be log c3. Take the both term of log one side. This becomes log t minus log c3 is equal to c square p square t. Clear? By using the property of log, this becomes t upon c3 is equal to c square p square t. Clear? Taking anti-log, we get t upon c3 is equal to e to the power c square p square t. So we get t is equal to c3 e to the power c square p square t. Clear? Put these values of capital X and capital T in equation second. We get u capital xt is equal to capital X is c1 e to the power px plus c2 e to the power minus px. Clear? And c3 e to the power c square p square t. This is the equation number 4. This is the solution of heat equation when k is equal to positive number, that means k is equal to p square. Now we take the second case on next page. Clear? Case second, when k is equal to 0, then by equation third we get 1 upon capital X d square capital X over dx square is equal to 1 upon c square t d capital T over dt is equal to 0. Take, clear? Take first and third term. So we get 1 upon capital X d square capital X over dx square is equal to 0. By using the cross multiplication, we get dx over dx square is equal to 0. Integrate d capital X over dx is equal to, suppose another constant, suppose constant of integration it to be c1, right? Take c1. So this can be write as d capital X is equal to c1 into dx, right? Again integrate, we get d capital X is equal to c1 into dx. So we get capital X is equal to c1x plus c2. c2 is the another constant of integration. Clear? Again take second and third terms. So we get 1 upon c square t d capital T over dt is equal to 0. This becomes, by using the cross multiplication, becomes d over dt is equal to 0. Integrate, t is equal to constant. Let us suppose it to be c3. Clear? Now put these values in equation second. So we get u x comma t is equal to c1x plus c2 and c3. This is the another solution of the heat equation when k is equal to 0. This is the equation number 5th. Clear? Now let us take the next case, case number 3rd, when k is negative, that means k is equal to minus p square. Clear? Minus p square. where p be any number. Clear? Then by equation third, we get 1 upon capital X d square capital X over dx square is equal to 1 upon c square into capital T d capital T over dt is equal to minus p square. Now for better use of this page, we divide into two parts. Clear? Take first and third term. So we get 1 upon x d square capital X over d small x square is equal to minus p square. By using the cross multiplication, we get d square capital X over dx square is equal to minus p square into capital X. Take both term on LHS. This becomes d square over dx square plus p square. This is d square into capital X is equal to 0. Let us take here d is equal to d over dx. So this becomes d square plus p square into capital X is equal to 0. This equation is ordinary linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So auxiliary equation is m square plus p square is equal to 0. Now m square is equal to minus p square. Take the square root. So m is equal to under root minus p square. This can be put as under root p square into under root minus 1. So we get m is equal to plus minus p or under root minus 1 iota. Clear? Now this can be write as 0 plus minus ip. This is the form of alpha plus minus I beta. So CF in this case is equal to e to the power alpha x. Here x is the independent variable. C1 cos beta x plus C2 sin beta x. So CF is e to the power 0 into x. C1 cos beta is p, px plus C2 sin px. Clear? So the end pi in this equation is equal to 0 because RHS of this equation is 0. So complete solution capital X is equal to CF plus pi. That means C1 cos px plus C2 sin px. Now take the second and third term. We get 1 upon c square capital T d capital T over dt is equal to minus p square. Separate the variables, we get d capital T over small t is equal to minus c square into p square into dt. Integrate both sides. So this becomes dt over t is equal to minus c square p square t. The integration of dt upon t, that is log t, is equal to this becomes c square minus p square into t plus take the another constant c3. Log c3 is the constant of integration. Take both term of log one side. So this becomes log t minus log c3 is equal to minus c square p square t. This can be write as by property of log capital T by c3 is equal to minus c square p square t. Take the antilog, we get t upon c3 is equal to e to the power minus c square p square t. So we get t is equal to c3 e to the power minus c square p square t. Put the value of capital X and capital T in the equation second. So, solution in this case becomes u x comma t is equal to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 e to the power minus c square p square t. This solution put in equation second. Clear? This is the solution when k is the negative. Clear? This is the equation number 6. Clear? Now complete the rest on next page. Now at this stage we get 3 solutions. Solutions of heat equations. When k is positive, we get the solution u x comma t is equal to c1 e to the power px plus c2 e to the power minus px. Clear? c3 e to the power c square p square t. This is the solution number 4th. Clear? And when k is equal to 0, we get the solution u x comma t. u x comma t is equal to c1x plus c2 into c3. This is the solution number 5th. When k is negative, then we get the solution u x comma t. u x comma t is equal to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 e to the power minus c square p square t. This is the solution, equation number 6. Clear? Out of these 3 solutions, we have to choose that solution which satisfies our physical nature of heat. That means as T increases, then U decreases, or that is, or as T tends to infinity, then U tends to 0. Clear? Now check the solution one by one. By solution Y solution 4, when T tends to infinity, then U tends to infinity. So we reject it. Clear? Again Y solution 5th, when T tends to infinity, then U will never 0. So we reject it. ejected. Clear? Again, by solution given by equation 6, when t tends to infinity, then u tends to 0, because e to the power minus infinity is equal to 0. Clear? So this is the solution which satisfies physical nature of the heat. Clear? So hence solution of heat equation is u x comma t is equal to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 e to the power minus c square p square t. This is the required solution of the heat equation. Clear? I hope you understand very well this solution of the heat equation. These are the objective problems. The two-dimensional heat equation is, this is the two-dimensional wave equation, so this is not heat equation. The heat equation is this is the standard result, del u over del t is equal to c square del square u del x square plus del square del y square. So option A is correct here. Question number 2, the solution of the wave equation, one dimensional wave equation, is c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 e to the minus c square p square t. So option A is correct. Clear? This is not correct. This is not correct. So here option A is correct. This is the standard result. Okay, thank you.